Hello everyone, welcome back to the ZHP Garage. Hope you guys are having a great one. We are going to be continuing on with the stuff that we were doing to the 68 Chevy C10, just as you saw in the last video. If you did not see the last video, it's linked right here. Check it out after this video, or you can check it out right now. Like we said at the end of the last video, we were going to get the trailer hitch completed and put in the truck, so we got it pretty much completed. We just need to put the bolts in, but we didn't put them in yet to show you a little bit of what we did, so it's easier to see stuff. And then later on in the video, we're gonna go into the gas tank, we're gonna complete that, and we're gonna do the trailing arm bushings. Got a couple things planned. Let's get right into it.
Hello there. So we just about got the hitch done. I got this side all bolted up. I had to notch the bumper bracket to clear the bracket for the hitch, way it bolts on, and I had to make a little spacer here to clear the hitch, space it out so it was up tight because of if there's a washer or something, it'd be all crooked. So I put a little spacer in there. License plate now is behind it, so cha-cha, folds up, slide your receiver in, not towing, tuck it away. So this side we just got to finish up. I got the holes drilled, open them up a little bit because lining them up with this contraption's a little bit difficult. So that's the only thing that's left on the hitch. Hitch is about done. Then we're gonna get the gas tank dropped in. We gotta drill the holes for that. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit though. I started doing the trailing arm bushings. Got my old trusty ball joint press again. Best tool ever. Pressed out the old one. About ready to put the new one in. We got some different brake pads for the back. I'm gonna put those on. So just trying to take advantage of the extra space with the bed off of it. We're gonna get the gas tank in and then the holes drilled. Get that finished up and then get this bed back on this thing. So these are the mounts that go on the inside of the frame. So I just centered them on there. I marked the holes. Then I'm going to drill these out to the 3/8 size. Then we're going to hold it up, mark it on the frame, then drill the frame. Then we can put the gas tank up in there. Got the hitch all done. All the bolts are in the hitch. I need to put a little pad back here because it rattles. Hitch is done. So now we're going to install the gas tank. So we're going to finish drilling this, get their side done, and get the gas tank marked in there.
How are we looking, sir?
We're looking good. We got the this side's not drilled yet. We got this side drilled, got the gas tank centered up in here. I was just gonna hook up the return and stuff while I was over here. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna run the feed line. I'm gonna have to add to the fuel center because now the center's on this side. So we just clamped it. Then we pre-drilled the holes. The holes are in here, so then we go underneath and just drill through the fuel tank into the frame. All right, we got this fuel tank put in here. Both sides bolted up. We got it wired. This sender, this fuel tank is rubber mounted, so you can't rely on the fuel tank being grounded to the chassis. So the sender has a separate ground on it. The sender, and then you have the sender ground, and then it shares it with the fuel pump ground. Grounded over here, so it's all wired up. So now I got the return line. I was gonna show you how to cut an AN fitting and put an AN fitting on it, or cut a braided line and put an AN fitting on it. I just use electrical tape, and I pulled it really tight so it keeps the braids together, and then you just cut it. You can cut it with a cutoff wheel. So you want to pull a little tension on it. You just cut it. So this is the piece we're going to be using. Then you want to blow out any of the debris. So give it a little blow. Then you take your tape off. Okay. You gotta be careful not to get your braids flared out. Kind of want to see where it's kind of coming out a little bit. That's where you want to start. Just push it over and in. And you just have like left-handed threads in them. So when you're loosening it, it's actually screwing it on. So you screw it on until the hose bottoms out in the fitting. Okay. See the blacks all the way at the threads. Then you take your insert, work it around to get it in the hose, just screw it in. It's okay to use normal wrenches. The AN's okay. As long as you're careful, you won't nick it all up. So you run it all the way down till it almost touches. And I get super ADD about it. I line up the nuts. And there you go. Blow it out one more time. There's a return line. So this is going to be the return we just did. And then we're using this fitting just because we already have it. On the feed line, I decided to put in a bulkhead fitting through here. So I'm gonna have a bulkhead, and then I'm gonna have the line that we cut is gonna go to the bulkhead. So that's why you want to blow it out. So the bulkhead's gonna go here. This is gonna go there, and then we're gonna use the nuts and tubes, and we're gonna do a hard line on the other side of the bulkhead over. Then it's gonna hold our fuel filter. And then another hard line, we're gonna move this up and we're gonna tee back into the line. So come back, check it out when we get it all done.
So how are we looking, sir?
Looking pretty good. Getting the gas put back in this thing. We got the fuel system all finished up. So we got the feed line through the bulkhead. We made some new stainless lines. Put the filter right up in here. And then for right now, we just teed it back into the original line. The original was a -8, and we're going back down to a 6 because what we plan on doing this thing, we don't need as much fuel pressure as we needed before. So we're gonna wind up changing the rest of the line later. But so we see, we just teed it here. And just so you know, if you're trying to do the lines, at the AN is a 37-degree flare. If you're looking to flare your own lines. So now we're gonna get the trailing arm bushings done. Replace these cheap brake pads. They came with these calipers that squeak like crazy. Get a better quality pad in here so they don't screech anymore. So we didn't get the rollover vent. It didn't show up yet, so we kind of had to just cap it for right now. So we gotta wait for the vent to come in to finish up the vent on it. So we're trying to get this bushing pressed out of here. And this control arm isn't helping because it's got a dent on top. So this adapter is not fitting like it fit on this side. It worked good on this side. I already have the new bushing in it, but I got a dent on this trailing arm, so it's making it all crooked. But we're gonna press this guy out of here. We're gonna use our trusty ball joint press. You gotta be careful because see, it kind of pushes the trailing arm, pinches it together, so you gotta keep it apart, kick it back apart. And it gets it straightened back out. Oh yeah, almost out.
50-year-old dust coming off of that.
Gotta go a little bit more. Gotta go find my adapter that ran away. So we gotta set it back up.
So how are you setting this up with the ball joint press?
Well, we're just using an adapter that's bigger than the outside of the bushing. And I'm using a really good Taiwan socket. I'm flipping it over upside down and using the flat spot to push on the, because you can't push on the inside because it'll just shove it out of the rubber. So you have to push on the sleeve. So I'm flipping it upside down. It's about the same dimension, it's outside dimension. So it pushes on it and it pushes the whole bushings out. So when you go in, you got to push on the outer edge because you can't push on the rubber, you just push it apart. There it is. You see it pushed out the center a little bit because it sticks out, and being that the socket was flat, it pushes on the inner until it gets down far enough to push on the outer race. That's why it pushed it out. But you see these things are super hard as a rock and definitely probably original. We got some new ones here we're gonna put in.
So how are you gonna go about getting this in here?
Well, first I gotta give this trailing arm here a little massage because I got a little crazy with it and it kind of tweaked it. So it goes out one way and in, so you can't flip them. So the way it went out goes back in the same way. So I changed my center here, my pusher. I install the adapter that takes another adapter. So this holds the, so I can push on the outer of the ball joint. The one that was on the outside now goes on to get flipped. So this thing gets flipped over. So now the one that received it coming out, it receives it going in. Then the opposite side pushes on it. You can do it the other way, but the threaded side is always easier to be on the side that you're pushing. So I could use it this way, but it's just not as strong. It's better to do it. That's why you have to flip it over. The threaded side, wherever you're pushing, it's better to be on the threaded side. You want to center it on the outside there that you're pushing on. Whack the drive line a couple times. And there you go. Let's say you replace the trailing arm bushings. So I'm gonna put a little bit of anti-seize on the inside of this bolt because it bushing rides on it. When I put the bolt in, I'm not going to tighten it all the way up. I'm going to wait until I get the truck at ride height, because if you tighten it up with the suspension hanging down and you tighten this, it's going to tighten the bushing, and then you're going to jack up the rear end to get it at ride height, and it's going to put a bind on the bushing. It's going to twist it, so it's going to make the premature failure of the bushing. So you want to adjust it to ride height. So I'm going to put some anti-seize on here. You can use like wheel bearing grease, whatever. But you still want it to be all dry and rusty if you ever want to take it apart again too. Get these guys back up in here. Oh, I think again. There it is. I like to put it back the same direction it was. All right, we got the bolts in it. We got them just snug down. We got to put the sway bar end links back on it. Then we're gonna change the brake pads. Then we're gonna get the bed put back on it. We gotta get the bed over here. We gotta line it up with the filler so we can drill the hole for the we're not using that style, we're using the other one that we showed earlier. We can put the filler in it, get the bed put back on it, and hook up the wiring and the rest of the hangers. This thing will be back on the road.
So what are we changing to the brakes?
So we got this whole brake kit from CPP, and these brake pads everything comes with it. It's a whole kit. And these must be, according to CPP, these brake pads come with a caliper. And they must be the cheapest, loudest, most obnoxious brake pads that they could possibly find. So we're trashing those things. And we got some of these ceramic go the moon in reverse, super quiet, supposed to be brake pads we're gonna try. Because these things squeak like crazy. There's a whole bunch of brake dust. So that's why we're taking off brand new brake pads to put on brand new brake pads. So that's why we're changing them, trying to get them to quit squeaking. Put a little looby on the sides. So these style, because this caliper, this little pin, these calipers, these are the ones that you can't push in. If you ever do brakes on these with these kind of calipers, you have to they screw in, they thread in. So when you push them in, you got to make sure that the piston is up and down to line up with the little pin, or else you'll be cocked on the brake pad and it'll wear your brake pad out.
All right, we got both of the brakes done, got all the brake pads on, got the fuel lines done, trailing arm bushings done, got everything done that we said we were gonna do in this video and in last video underneath the bed. So we're ready to put the bed back on. We're gonna finish this thing up. So let's get started. Well, let's not get started, let's get it finished. All right, well, we got the bed on it. We got the bed bolts on. We got the exhaust hangers on. We got the
Lights working.
We got the
lights working. Didn't have time to do the filler. It's a little late.
Yeah, so we're gonna basically break it kind of into a third part, not so much a third part. This is the end of it because we got the gas tank working and everything. We're just not able to fill the gas tank because of the way we have it. We didn't cut the hole for the filler. But we're going to showcase the filler in a different video the next time we deal with this truck, because the next time we deal with this, it's going to be putting on the airbag suspension. Crazy installation that we have for the suspension coming up. So, stay tuned for that. You have that to look forward to.
I'm going to bed. Get it. Next time, come back. Hit the subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button. It's 2:30 in the morning. We're going to go to bed. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.